Hey guys, it's Fancy. Welcome to my YouTube channel called Simply Fancy, where I talk about simply fancy little things. I'm still working on my intro to my video, so if you have any suggestions, please put it in the comment section. And while you're doing that, also please make sure you subscribe to my channel so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube, so I'm really nervous. I'm low-key kind of scared, but not as scared as the topic that this video is about today, which is my fear of flying. Ooh, just even thinking about flying makes me really nervous. And a lot of people will probably be like, wait, this girl flies all the time, constantly traveling, doing her little dance in a suitcase. Yes, I travel a lot, but I'm always afraid when I'm on the aircraft. And it's a fear that started since childhood. And I'll talk a little bit about like where it started, how it got really, really bad, and where I'm at today. And hopefully it can help someone out there who also has a fear, or hopefully it can help me if somebody has like the answers to like solve my my issues. That'd be great too. So yeah, let me let that car go by. It's so noisy. So my fear started when I was a little girl. I actually started flying when I was 1 year old. My family traveled a lot. So every year we're going on the plane. So 2-3 times a year. Definitely if it's not 2 or 3 times, once a year, we're in Nigeria for Christmas. So it was something that I was used to. But for some reason, not until I turned like 11 years old, did I start to really question, how does the airplane stay in the sky? I started to become a very curious child. Like, okay, I want to know how the pilot makes this thing go up in the sky, how it stays up there, how there's so many people sitting next to me and it's not dropping down to the floor. Someone please explain this. Like, what about if the gas runs out while we're in the sky? Like, are we gonna go to like an Arco station in the sky, Mom? Like, she's like, oh God, this child. What made me super scared was 9/11. I remember exactly where I was when I got the news that 2 airplanes had crashed into the Twin Tower buildings in New York. I was numb. I was still a kid, but I just remember already having my fear and doubts about safety and flying, and seeing that tragedy on the news. We're playing over and over again of planes crashing into this building. That was the moment I was like, I'm never going on a plane again. I told one of my uncles about my fear of flying because he's a pilot, and he was like, you know what, I can help you. How about I take you and teach you how to fly? And I was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. It was the worst idea ever. Let's just say I now know too much, and I kind of wish the knowledge he gave me I didn't have. So my uncle took me to the Long Beach airport and basically gave me like flight lessons and taught me everything I needed to know about how to take off a plane, what happens when turbulence happens, how to land a plane. Everything was going so well until he told me that sometimes pilots fall asleep on the plane. And I was like, say what now? It's like, yeah, sometimes when we're tired, I go to sleep. You know, the other pilot takes over. I was like, wait, you guys sleep on the plane? I can't even sleep on the plane with my anxiety, but you, the pilot, sleeps? Oh my God, my fear went beyond. And he's like, wait, should I not have told you that? I was like, yes, don't tell me that. And he's like, no, me telling you that we sleep on the plane should make you feel comfortable, because now you should know how safe it is that we can sleep. That's how safe flying is. And I was like, okay, yeah, I don't know. So tell me guys, how do you feel knowing this information? If you never knew before that pilots slept on the plane. So I became a lot more afraid, and I was like, now I know too much. But one thing he did help me with is that the fact that he told me when we're in the sky and there's turbulence happening, just pretend that you're in a car and there's just like a rough like road, and it's just like little shakes. It's nothing dramatic. Actually, no, that didn't help either. Like nothing helps. Like you can tell me anything and I just am like, oh, that's great. Yeah. Okay, no. I looked into doing like therapy, hypnosis. There's nothing I didn't research or try when it came to like learning how to relax from this fear. So for like 2 years, I used to always make sure that I would meet the pilot before I actually got on the plane, because in my mind helped me put a face to who is flying, and I wanted to know how their day was to make sure that they're okay to fly. So I'd be like, oh, hi, John. How are you today? Is everything good? Did you eat? Are you and your wife okay? Like, are your kids good? Like, I literally wanted to know how the pilot was doing, just so that I would feel more at ease that he's happy and he's happy to fly safely. I shouldn't laugh. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I did this for years. I'd always want to meet the pilot before I would fly. The pilot sometimes would come to my seat because the flight attendants always knew that I was afraid. How? Because I told them. I would tell every flight attendant that would listen. I'd be like, hey, before we take off, just so you know, I'm actually really scared of flying. And they're like, oh, it's okay, don't worry, it's just a little rough air. I'm like, okay, sure, but I'm just letting you know so you can keep bringing the shots of whiskey to my seat. So sometimes the air hostess would go as far as telling the pilot that I'm actually really afraid. So the pilot will come to me, like once we've taken off and we're like 30,000 feet in the air, the pilot will come to my seat and be like, oh, hey, Fancy, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. When the pilot would come to me, we'll like have a little small talk about whatever. A part of me was like, I appreciate you coming over here to say hi, but can you go back and fly this plane? Because I just don't understand. I was like, okay, I'm glad that I feel comfortable. Like the pilot's talking to me, the hostess is talking to me. Who's flying the plane? But I have to remember, my uncle said they don't even really fly the plane when they're in the sky. It's so automatic. So the pilot can sleep, the pilot can do whatever he wants. Over the years, as I started to fly a lot more, and I only fly with one particular airline, and the reason for that, it's like not just like building miles, which is awesome to do. I just feel like it's just something I control. Like, okay, this is an airline that I'm comfortable with. I've never had a bad experience with them. Knowing that I booked this airline, it's gonna be good. Because times where I went outside of my comfort and chose like a different airline, now let me tell you, I'm not gonna name any airlines in this video because I don't wanna throw shade, but let's just say that there was an airline that I went on and I was on my way to Boston, from LA to Boston to see some family, and the airline, literally the turbulence was so bad, the entire aircraft turned off and we dropped 3,000 feet in the sky. And I thought we were gonna die. And I was like, oh, this is what happens when you choose something outside your comfort zone. Like, you just go down. But I'll get to that later. Maybe not. Even just thinking about that particular incident was just so terrifying. When I fly internationally, I'm a little less afraid, just a little, just because the planes are a lot bigger. And when the planes are bigger, you don't feel turbulence as much. And if you sit in the front of the plane, you don't feel it as much as the turbulence in the back. I literally try to find all these little things to make my experience a lot more calm. I'm just very particular. So when I get to the airport, I check in, I go to the lounge, get my drink on, I have nice whiskey, I get on the aircraft, I sit in my seat, more whiskey. But when I fly on a small plane, okay, so small planes and I are not friends, because you feel everything when the planes are smaller. So flying locally is so scary for me. And when I say locally, I mean like a small plane where you're going from like Los Angeles to Las Vegas, or Lagos to like Imo State or Abuja. Those planes are a lot smaller, it's a lot less people. So no matter if you're in the front or the back, you really feel a lot of the turbulence, you really feel the takeoff, the landing, and I just get so uncomfortable. And then if you've ever been on a private plane before, so people are like really excited about private jets, and private jets, trust me, it is cool. Like my first time on a private jet, I was super excited, but I was like, wait a minute. This is even less people, it's even smaller. I was like, oh my God. I am not one of those people who aspires and like, I will take pictures on it. Like I will do content any day on a jet, that's fine. But I don't look forward to it because I'm actually really, really scared, because it's one of the smaller aircrafts to be on. My fear from flying, it's like, okay, a level 7 on an international big flight, a level 10 on a local flight. and a level 15 on a private jet. So yeah, will my flying nerves go down? I don't know. Will I ever not be afraid of flying? I don't know. For years when I would fly, another thing that made me feel really, really good was that I always would have someone pray for me, like before I take off, you know, when I land, and I would just always have that prayer, and vice versa. Because even though I'm afraid of flying, if you're someone I love, I'm afraid for you. So I'm gonna be like, did you land? Are you okay? Like, how did everything go? So my fear is not just me. Like it will spill over to you. So if I love you, I am like as worried for you as I'm worried for myself. But yeah, having, you know, someone to pray for you as well, like is an extra level of like calmness. During turbulence, my mom and I would text my mom during turbulence. I'm like, mommy, like the turbulence is so bad. We're going down. And she's like, Chica, that's what she calls me, called me. Chica, if the turbulence was so bad, you wouldn't have Wi-Fi to be texting me. My mom would be like, if the plane was so bad, I'm pretty sure you can't be sending me pictures. I'm like, I know, but I just wish you were here. My mom, she really put up with a lot of my anxiety of flying, and she was so patient. So love you, Mom. She was amazing. So yeah, I pray to God that my fear goes away. I pray to God that I get a lot more information that helps me calm down my nerves. When I'm in the sky, you know, 30,000 feet above, I think of my mom a lot because I know she's in heaven watching over me, and I feel like that has also made my flying a little bit better these recent years since she just passed away. I'm like, okay, I feel like closer to her, you know. That's very personal, but I'm just sharing it with you guys because I'm just, you know, whatever. It is what it is. That's how I feel. But yeah, if you guys are afraid of flying, put in the comment section. If you are like, girl, are you serious? Do this, do that, and you'd be good. Please send me your advice. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and please make sure you subscribe to my channel where I talk about random topics like this. You never know where we can relate to something. I want to learn from you guys as you guys get to know me and learn from me as well. And I'll see you on the next video.